Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Prita Nurkhalifah. I'm from class A and my ID number 182122004. In here, I would like to present about using the model with a case study. The first is, what is aspect of language and content could you usefully focus on in practice? From this, we can identify the first, the name of specific verb, and then the second is no active, and then the third is linker discourse. It is relative clause, after, then, and etc. Fourth is explain the system, and then the fifth is relationship between text and the diagram. So in here, we should think of several exercises and activities to practice the item you have identified. And then from here, we can design the first transfer activity, in which learners will extract important information from the text and use or to complete and label system diagrams. Next, this is exercise where learn write other systems descriptions, for example, rainfall assistance and central heating, if this is not used for the task. At this point, we highly doubt for the useful of our original text for a number of reasons. The first is that was not very exciting at first, and then looks unsuitable for many class activities. And then the third is there are several items language focus on, and then we already have some example to potential assignments. So this aspect of the discard syllables is quite covered in other units. Okay, and then next is return to input can be revised in any way to make it more useful. Try any revisions on your students if possible. If nothing shows up, keep it cold storage. Never throw away the text or the practice. You will probably find it used and look for another text. And then in our case, place our insights, we rewrite the text from the point of view of individual blood cell and arrange it in a cartoon stripes. Next, it seems on our own view that the only advantage of switching of blood cell to inject more constituents, although this is in itself is a positive factor. In fact, the revisions greatly increase the creative potential of the unit, setting up new dimensions, the contrast between general, formal, and informal description. So we can see the applications from this. This is happening at a specific point in time. This means that the following is, it is not visible. The first is, we can have a new assignment, which is focused on the contrast between the general and direct descriptions. Reviewing the syllables show that we don't have any other assignment like this yet. Note the use of the syllables here as an examination tool. And then point B is, we don't have to throw away the original assignment idea. We can use them in exercise to practice the language and or atmosphere of the content. We can also still use the transfer activity. And then the point C is, we could have a number of exercises that will take advantage of the learner's ability to transfer information from an informal registers to input to general academic descriptions. It is same with steps 1, step 2, and step 6. This will help in developing awareness of the register. Here we can see the point D. We now have nice and realistic setting for practicing the difference between present simple and counting instance, which we haven't covered in our language syllabus. Look again at the use of the syllabus as checking tools. Okay, and then point E, there is an opportunity to lighten up a bit with little creative writing from the point of view of the water molecule, like step 8. It might be objected that some learned people would be insulted by such work. This is certainly worth bearing in mind, although in our experience, this kind of activities are welcome by students as opportunities for fun, especially if they do well courses where more conventional activities lose their appeal. And then, however, there is no prize for doing the exercise. We will revert from the point made earlier. The material must be stimulus. They must provide opportunities for class activities. There is a lot to say, to include more than can actually be covered. Some can be left out to meet different needs. And then point F is most important is the work that can now be done to follow up step previous students only recreated but now they have much more creative activities. They transfer the input contents into the diagram gradually, as before we can see, and then the information in the diagram can be used as input for the discord bridging exercise. Alright, in our opinion, it is a learning activity that is much more creative and meaningful than simply reconstructing a particular text. After revising our unit using the new text, we can move on the remaining step of using model and finalizing a workable version of the material. So, in this conclusion and option, in these chapters, we have looked in detail at most distinctive feature of ESP work, the rating of the materials. We have presented and demonstrated how to operate a model that puts into practice the learning center's approach into the material. In closing, however, we must state that for a number of reasons, writing material is the best considered a last resort when all other possibilities for preparing materials have exhausted. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.